here with TNA's Emergence. Wow, it did not disappoint. Pre-show, Indy Hartwell defeated Rosemary. Danny Luna kept Rosemary from misting Hartwell again, and Hartwell hit the Hertz Donut to get the pinfall. Hometown Man defeated Ryan Namath. The Hometown Man hit a TKO for a near fall. Namath hit a leaping DDT for a near fall. The Hometown Man won with a roll-up. Main show, number 1. Leon Slater defeated Cedric Alexander to retain the X Division Championship. Slater went for the Swanton 450 but Alexander escaped and hit a Spanish Fly. Alexander tried for the lumber check again, but Slater escaped and hit a Styles Clash. Slater then hit the Swanton 450 and got the pinfall. Started slow but really got going at the end. Stellar match to start things off. Could be a MOTY candidate. Number 2. Matt Cardona defeated Mustafa Ali with Order 4. Cardona went for radio silence, but Ali countered with a sit-down powerbomb for a near fall. Ali charged into Cardona and ate a boot. Hotch and Skyler ran in and interfered, allowing Ali to hit Cardona with a dropkick. Ali hit a 450 on Cardona, but laid back to do a cocky cover, and Cardona rolled him up in a crucifix for the pinfall. Order 4 attacked Cardona but the system makes the save. Number 3. First Class, Rich Swann and AJ Francis defeated Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers of the system with Alicia Edwards. Edwards tried for the backpack stunner on Francis, but Francis blocked it. Order 4 ran in and attacked the system. Agent Zero, who looks like a cruiserweight next to Edwards, gave Edwards a hanging tree slam into the ring apron. Zero tossed Myers back in the ring, and Francis hit a chokeslam for the pinfall. Number 4. Mike Santana defeated Sami Callihan in a Baltimore street fight. Santana was wrestling himself out there. It felt like there was an hour of dead time between every offensive move from Callihan. Sami Callihan removed his boots and left them in the ring, usually a sign of retirement. Number 5. Em and Heather by Elegance with the Concierge and Ash by Elegance defeated Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay of the Linspiration with Mara Sade in a 4 corners match to retain the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship, which also included Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley of Fatal Influence with Jessie Jane and Chia Brookside and Lei Ying Lee. Cassie Lee caught Em with a kick. After more nonsense, McKay hit a flying crossbody and Lee suplexed Em by Elegance. The crowd chanted, "This is awesome." While all 8 women were laid out, they all start to recover and hit each other with their finishes. Em then hit Cassie Lee with a Knockouts title belt and got the pinfall. This was messy. Number 6. Steve McLin defeated Jake Something to retain the TNA International title in a no disqualification, no count-out match. McLin dove off the stage into Something, and they brawled back to the ring. Something missed a charge in the corner, and McLin hung him upside down in the corner. McLin went for a spear, but Something caught him, while hanging upside down, in a dragon sleeper. It took a minute, but McLin fought out of the choke and hit 3 spears. McLin hit a double underhook DDT and got the pinfall. They tried but the crowd wasn't into it. Number 7. The Hardys defeated the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Myron Reed, to retain the TNA World Tag Team Championship. Reed hit Jeff with a lung blower, and held him for Wentz to come off the top with a double stomp. Wentz climbed to the top, but Matt dumped him to the floor. Reed caught Matt with Stundog Millionaire. Reed went for Flame On, but Jeff was able to block it, and Jeff shoved Red into a Twist of Fate on the floor. Back in the ring, Jeff hit the Swanton Bomb and got the pinfall. Number 8. Trick Williams defeated Moose to retain the TNA World Championship. Trick Williams starts off with an amazing promo. Just so charismatic, Williams charged at Moose, who sent him into the turnbuckle with a buckle bomb. Moose charged, but Williams caught him with a trick shot, and the ref recovered to count, but Moose kicked out. Moose hit a big headbutt, but missed a spear. Williams hit a trick shot to the back of the head, a second to the side of the head, and held Moose down for the pinfall. This main event delivered big time. After the match, Carlos Silva presented Williams with the TNA World Championship. Now to Lilith and the continued What If series. Let's wrestle.
Another episode of EveryRing. That's Everything Wrestling. What If series continue. What if All Elite Wrestling AEW had never formed in 2019? It's highly likely that both World Wrestling Entertainment WWE and Total Nonstop Action TNA, now Impact Wrestling, would be different today, though perhaps to varying degrees. AEW's creation introduced a new competitor into the professional wrestling landscape, providing a viable alternative for both wrestlers and fans, and its absence would have removed that competitive force. Potential effects on WWE. Less pressure to evolve. Without AEW competing for talent, television deals, and fan attention, WWE would likely have faced less pressure to innovate and improve its product. The competitive environment fostered by AEW has compelled WWE to adapt and evolve. At the time, craziness of Vince McMahon wasn't full expanded upon, but the snowball effect would follow. So many wrestlers were affected by this, so no AEW would have hurt many wrestlers. Jon Moxley, even WWE gave him a solid send-off, but without AEW, the ace of AEW would possibly stayed in NJPW, which indirectly affect his wife also. Renee Paquette worked in WWE as a commentary and backstage interviews, but no AEW would hinder her to leave, so the couple would greatly be hindered. Swerve Strickland, one of the breakout stars of AEW, would have been affected greatly with no existence of AEW. Toni Storm, the MVP of AEW, would have relied on European wrestling scene or moved to Japan. Different talent landscape. Many wrestlers who chose to join AEW, including former WWE talent seeking more creative freedom or different opportunities, may have remained with WWE, sought opportunities elsewhere, like New Japan Pro Wrestling or the independent scene, or even retired from the industry. AEW offered an environment where wrestlers could earn well without the perceived creative constraints at WWE. NXT's direction. WWE's NXT brand underwent a significant transformation after going head-to-head with AEW Dynamite in the Wednesday Night Wars. Without AEW, NXT might not have shifted its focus as dramatically from signing independent wrestling stars to developing collegiate athletes, notes Last Word on Sports. With no competition, NXT may have become stagnant. The greatest women's division may not have come to play. Stephanie Vaca has always dreamed of joining WWE, but without AEW exposing her greatness with her matches with Mercedes Moné, this may have been a lost dream. Julia, another international superstar who got a world exposure due to Mercedes Moné. So with no AEW, it is consequential that Mercedes Moné would be greatly affected. Her matches with the previous two stars played a big part in wrestling. AEW. Many have said the best thing to happen to wrestling is the creation of AEW. The fact giving fans an alternative to WWE plays a big role. As mentioned, many wrestlers broke the shackles at WWE to prosper. How about wrestlers who never stepped foot in WWE? As mentioned several times in this series, wrestlers like Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Darby Allin and Adam Page would be greatly impacted. NJPW wrestlers would also be hurt with no AEW existence, especially with the invention of Forbidden Door. Okada, one of the best international superstars, has been one of the longest champions in AEW and currently is both the continental and international champion. Will Ospreay, possibly the best wrestler on the planet and having AEW as his playing ground, has been a game changer. Kyle Fletcher, the future of wrestling falls in the hands of the current TNT champion. AEW has been criticized for no real creation of stars. Kyle Fletcher is the sole young lion. Potential effects on TNA Impact Wrestling. Partnerships and exposure. TNA Impact Wrestling's partnerships with other wrestling promotions might have taken a different path without AEW. AEW's rise might have prompted TNA Impact to seek collaborations to remain relevant in a more competitive environment. Talent pool. The emergence of AEW likely impacted TNA's ability to attract and retain talent. Wrestlers might have seen AEW as a more appealing alternative, potentially affecting TNA's roster strength. The partnership was one-sided where AEW stars ruled over the roster. Kenny Omega and Christian held the world title under their rule. So TNA's direction could have been something different. AEW helped them financially but nothing else. With AEW, it could have meant TNA found themselves earlier under Scott D'Amore. So in a strange way, without AEW TNA could have become a powerhouse and ultimately a strong secondary company. Financial stability: without AEW, TNA's financial health could have been different. AEW's presence could have pushed TNA to innovate or seek strategic alliances to compete more effectively. In essence, AEW's arrival disrupted the professional wrestling status quo, fostering a more dynamic and competitive landscape. Its absence would have likely meant a less challenged WWE and a TNA Impact Wrestling potentially struggling even more to carve out its niche in an environment dominated by WWE. So that's another episode. Let's go to Ashi for predictions for AAA Triplemania and Arvid for discussion.
The predictions for the upcoming AAA Triplemania. Copa Battle match. In the Copa Battle Cup, participants enter the match at timed intervals, similar to a Royal Rumble match. Eliminations occur via pinfall. The last remaining competitor wins the Copa Battle trophy. Both men's and women's. Men's, Mr. Iguana. Women's, Lady Shady. Latin American Championship match. El Mesas C vs. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Prediction: El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., new champion. Reina de Reinas Championship triple threat match. Flamma C vs. Fabi Apache vs. Natalia. Prediction: Flamma returns. 6-person tag team match. Nino Hamburgsa, Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice vs. Finn Glow, J.D. McDonough and Raquel Rodriguez. Prediction: Judgment Day steals a win. Triple tag team championship street fight. Angel and Beto C vs. Pagano and Psycho Clown. Prediction: Los Garzas return. Triple Mega Championship fatal 4-way match. El Hijo del Vikingo C vs. Dragon Lee vs. Dominic Mysterio vs. El Grand Americano. Prediction: and new Grand Champ Dirty Dominic
Another
Mysterio.
amazing week of wrestling. All Elite Wrestling has signed another top free agent. Former TNA X Division champion Ace Austin. The signing is a notable acquisition for AEW. Ace Austin spent 6 years with TNA Wrestling, where he developed into one of the company's most decorated and reliable performers. Austin was a 3-time X Division champion and a 1-time TNA World Tag Team champion. He was also the winner of the 2021 Super X Cup tournament. His confident, inevitable persona and his exciting in-ring style made him a cornerstone of the promotion. It looks like WWE is looking to add TNA as part of their master plan. In adding TNA, officials are looking to go all in and moving it on a TV program to compete against AEW, first time making an attempt to attack the competition. Sami Callihan retires at TNA Emergence. The Death Machine left his boots in the ring after his loss to Mike Santana on Friday night. That slower survival instinct showed how the Death Machine doesn't have it anymore to compete at peak levels. Callihan honored his word and left his boots in the ring. Fans chanted, "Please, don't go," and, "Thank you, Sami." Of course, in wrestling, retirement is just a word and not often honored. WWE has announced that the Women's World Champion, Naomi, will appear on this coming Monday's episode of Raw. The announcement was made during Friday night's broadcast of Smackdown. Speculations are Naomi is pregnant and we offer congrats because she and Jimmy Uso were looking to have kids. Mike Roman, La Hydra, La Paca, Fabi Apache, Nino Hamburguesa, Mizias, and Lady Flammer have all signed WWE contracts for AAA and are already being featured in merchandise. The second season of the American superhero television series Peacemaker is based on the eponymous character from DC Comics. While the first season is a spin-off from the DC Extended Universe, DCEU, film The Suicide Squad 2021, the second season is set in the DC Universe, DCU, which is a soft reboot of the DCEU. The season continues the story of jingoistic mercenary Chris Smith, Peacemaker, following the events of the DCU. Starring John Cena. On Rotten Tomato, it has gotten a lot of praise and certified fresh. There are reports that Brock Lesnar will appear on future Smackdowns and events to attack John Cena to play a role in his retirement tour. AEW also had a big Dynamite where the reuniting of Adam Copeland and Christian, where it was announced they will officially team up to face the Matriarchy, Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. Plus a lot of matches are coming together for Forbidden Door, where the return of Will Ospreay plays a major role, where we will see a big match. Will Ospreay challenged Jon Moxley for a huge lights-out steel cage match during Dynamite, involving big names such as Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks and more. Let's go to matches of the week, wrestlers of the week and indie star. Matches of the week. WWE, Raw. Io Sky vs Roxanne Perez. This match served as a story-building match where not only Roxanne builds momentum but we get a falling of friends where Asuka and Io shift. NXT. Nia Jax vs Lash Legend. The show started off with the women's Kaiju. It was everything and more. Jax may have won but Lash Legend was the standout and WWE needs to pull the trigger to push her to the moon. Melo Don't Miss, Carmelo Hayes and The Miz vs Fraxium, Axiom and Nathan Fraser. Story building and crazy moments. Only downfall is Fraxium lost and their NXT momentum is all but lost, but at least Carmelo Hayes gets the win and displayed to the world why he is him. AEW, Dynamite. Mercedes Moon, Tekla and Sky Blue vs Alex Windsor, Queen Aminator and Willow. This match had it all. Athleticism and displaying some of the best of the women's division. Storytelling where Toni Storm and Athena made their presence felt, where the women in the match did too. Just stellar. TNA. Cedric Alexander and the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Myron Reed, vs TNA X Division Champion Leon Slater and TNA World Tag Team Champions the Hardys, Jeff and Matt. Just an amazing match from beginning to end. For just a normal show, this match just displayed the great stars TNA have on their roster. Wrestlers of the week. WWE. Carmelo Don't Miss. The tag team have their differences and even winning created more conflict that partnership, but the bigger picture is Carmelo wrestling and winning. AEW. Alex Windsor. She's quickly being displayed as the real deal and in an Andrade booking, looking great and a major player. TNA. Lei Yingli. She re-signs with TNA Wrestling. And is putting up great matches and is a sign of TNA rebuilding their Knockouts division. Indie Star of the Week. Connor Hopkins. An American professional wrestler. He was trained by Christian Rose at the ZOWA Live Dojo in Sterling, IL. Hopkins was a former collegiate pole vaulter, hurdler, and javelin thrower. Current Dreamwave champion and has the perfect blend of athleticism and innovation. Wow, another week of EveryRing. That's everything wrestling. Until next week, chalo kushti karate hai.
Wrestling is something special, as you can see our human element dealt with a lot of superstars. King Kong Bundy, a wrestler deserving WWE Hall of Fame. Sherry Martel was an amazing person who helped revolutionize the women's division. The Crusher, who Milwaukee famous, was a classic star. Puppet the Midget was a bigger-than-life superstar who is both engaging and ahead of his time. Wrestling is life and we want to push it forward.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 14, Kenosha Community Television. Remember to tune into my program, Just Talkin', shown right here, Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. on Channel 14. On the program, we cover community events, talk to nonprofit organizations, and who knows, we may bump into a celebrity now and then. So remember to tune in to Just Talkin' Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. right here on Channel 14.
Kenosha Community Media. For years, we have informed, entertained, and performed community services for the city of Kenosha. Kenosha Community Media is your television station where you are the star, creator, and performer. To contact us, 262-564-6103. Website, kenoshamedia.org.
EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling is carrying out the tradition that was brought to you by Diablo Angelico and Danger Dan. The show must go on. Mondays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 6 p.m. on Kenosha Community Media. Channel 14 with Spectrum or on Roku KCM streaming. With EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling will keep you updated and informed. Mondays at 5 p.m. Fridays at 6 p.m. Tune in and enjoy wrestling. The renaissance of wrestling is occurring as we speak, so be part of sports entertainment. Each week you can see the discussion with topics, wrestlers and matches of the week. Looking at the big three: WWE, AEW and TNA. So if you enjoy wrestling and everything that makes wrestling special, tune in KCM 14 on Mondays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 6 p.m. EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling.
Bonkers Cartoon Apocalypse, where classic cartoons are revisited. Saturday at 10 a.m. and Sundays 10:30 a.m. If you enjoy classic and rare cartoons, you go to show. Nigel the Yeti is taking the reins while Mr. Boinkers add to the programming. The likes of Betty Boop, Popeye, Porky Pig, Daffy Duck, Mickey Mouse, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Felix the Cat and so much more. On Kenosha Community Media Channel 14, sit back with friends and family and relive the magic of morning cartoons. Wake up, gather the family and enjoy cereal and relive one's youth. Mr. Boinkers Cartoon Apocalypse, where whimsy is part of the magic. Join the other circus freaks where cartoons were fun and artistic. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. and Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Enjoy what made mornings special. Mr. Boinkers Cartoon Apocalypse, where classics fill the time.
What the heck are we watching? Movie reviews without pompous and pretentious critics who have agendas. Kenosha Community Media, Fridays at 5 p.m. and Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. Cinephiles who like movies for entertainment and not rants and raves, who make the audiences feel bad for themselves. Weekly discussion on movies and with no alternatives. The movie reviews are to help audiences to make their decision. Not only are modern movies reviewed, but a discussion on hidden gems, where good movies that have fallen through the cracks and forgotten. So before you go out, check out What the Heck Are We Watching? On Kenosha Community Media Channel 14. Fridays at 5 p.m. and Saturdays at 10:30 a.m.
Just Turned Heel, hosted by Danger Dan and Diablo Angelico, as seen on EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling. Behind the curtain look at professional wrestling. A gritty shoot style of interviews where we look at various aspects of wrestling. Ever wanted to know what an indie star needs to do to get their foot in the door? Ever wanted to know what a booker does? Ever wanted to know the purpose of a referee is? Just Turned Heel will plunge into the world of wrestling and look at every facet. Just Turned Heel, YouTube exclusive, starting January 28, 2024.
You haven't seen horror till you've seen horror of the crying skull. See teenagers getting killed. See horror coming at you every scene, and a skull. See the skull coming at you. The skull, and hear her cry. I hope you enjoy the horror of the crying skull.
September 24, 2025 at 7 p.m. a special night of honoring a fellow Kenoshan, Bert I. Gordon, or better known as Mr. Big. The night will serve two purposes. One, to honor a director from the great city of Kenosha. Two, to highlight what Kenosha has and why not much is done to honor it. Located at the Southwest Library, 7979 38th Avenue, Kenosha, Wisconsin, 53142. Come for the conversation, stay for the sweets and prizes. If this is successful, look forward to more casual discussions. Cinephiles are welcome to engage in the conversation. Fans of midnight movies are also encouraged. Kenosha has so much to offer, so let's delve into it. Wednesday, September 24, 2025 at 7 p.m.